Starting a dropshipping business in 2025 is not what you think. I spent years doing everything the absolute worst ways possible, testing random generic products, building shitty store after shitty store, and running ads that didn't ever convert. But then I found a completely new approach, and then I made more money from literally one single store than all my previous stores combined.
We gotta document this. Go to today.
Today?
6.75.
Dropshipping has completely changed, and while most people are still using strategies that don't really seem to work anymore, I discovered something that's absolutely crushing it right now. And honestly, kind of by accident. And today I'm gonna show you everything, my screen, my process, the exact steps to start a real dropshipping business that actually works. I've condensed everything into the simplest, most effective systems that you guys can use to get started with right after watching this video. So sit up, grab a notebook and pen, and let's get this show rolling. All right, first things first, let me just tell you exactly what this new way of dropshipping is and why you should even care. You see, most people are still stuck in the old model, and that's looking for random winning products, throwing up basic stores, running some ads, and hoping and praying that something finally clicks. So while everyone else is just focused on finding these winning products, what I've discovered is something that is completely different, and it's called branded dropshipping. But branded dropshipping is entirely different from the normal traditional dropshipping that we all know. Now, instead of just selling these random products and hoping that something works, you are instead building a real brand that connects with specific communities. You can think about it. When was the last time that you bought something from a random janky store versus a brand that you actually trust? Now, I want to quickly show you something that completely changed how I think about product research. Now, instead of just scrolling through thousands and thousands of products trying to guess what might sell, instead we're going to be finding these communities where there are already people that are willing and able to spend, that basically just want to spend all their money. Okay, watch this. We're going to look at a very simple example. What I want you to do is type in, for example, let's just do crochet. Okay. And then we're going to look at the suggested searches right here. What do we see? We see crochet inspiration. I see crochet patterns. I see crochet for beginners. You see what's happening here? Instagram is literally showing us exactly what people in the market are desperately searching for. Now, each of these suggestions, they represent thousands of people who are actively looking to solve specific problems. And this is really, really good information for us. When we look at who's actually crushing it in this space, there is one brand that perfectly demonstrates what I'm talking about, and it is this company right here, the Woobles. Now, the Woobles, this company's not just selling random crochet supplies. No, they've built an entire brand that is revolved around solving the exact problems that we just discovered. Look at all these beginner-friendly kits. And then if we take a closer look and we look at the numbers, it's ridiculous. $6.6 million in revenue, and then their top product right here, $330,000 in revenue. Second, $280,000, and then the Snoopy crochet kit, $270,000. It's absolutely insane. But what's really fascinating isn't just their sales, that is amazing, but it's how they've positioned themselves based on exactly what we saw in those Instagram searches. But they're not just selling yarn and hooks. If we take a closer look, it's not just that. Now, if we look at the content right here, they're building this whole community around what? Learning how to crochet. Look at this, how to fix knots in your yarn. These are all things that are pretty much for beginners, right? If we look at the content, it's all about learning how to crochet, tips and tricks. Every single video that they have pretty much shows someone either completing their first project, celebrating their wins of creating this creation, and more than anything, being a part of something bigger and this big community around crocheting. And then if we look at the ratings, ratings are great. Pretty much all of them 5 stars and up. 68% of the reviews are 4.5 stars and up. So that says a lot. And it's not just about the product quality. More than anything, it's about creating these experiences that people love so much that they cannot wait to share it. Now, when you have a group of people that are excited to write a review, that's when you know you've hit the jackpot. So let's see. Product strategy, we have Pierre the Penguin, we have the Hogwarts Express box, and then we have the Snoopy crochet kit, right? So each one of these connects with a very specific community. They are getting these licensing deals. I know not everyone has the capability and the funds to do that, but what they're doing is that they're connecting with subcategories, sub audiences, people that are also into Snoopy, people that are also into Harry Potter, right? By the way, guys, this tool is nuts. Like, I honestly wanted to gatekeep it, but it's just way too good. Like the fact that I can see how much a company is making, basically any company is making. I can see the pricing, I can see the general rating. Yeah, all these things are great. I'd say like 3 main things that I look at are the asset library, where I can see all the active ads. I can see when they posted this. It literally shows the timeline of when they posted. I change it to gallery and see all the posts. And then from here, the pricing, see how they're pricing their products. And then of course the sales, how much money they're making. This is like pretty much what you're going to be looking at. And all the metrics, the reviews, sentiment feedback, sell-through rate. So yeah, I'll leave a link to any of the tools that I use below, and I'll attach any free trials if I have them. Now here's where it gets really fascinating. Now when you analyze the Woobles content strategy, you start seeing patterns that most news to owners, they completely miss. Now I want you to watch their content structure. Now every single post that this company, the Woobles, does one of 3 things. It shows a complete beginner finishing their first project, or captures that moment when someone overcomes this challenge of finally completing the crochet design like this, gives insightful advice to beginners through this tutorial style, beginner friendly feel. And it celebrates these small wins in the learning journey. But it does go a lot deeper than just the content. Now, if we just look at how they have structured their entire product line. Now, instead of overwhelming beginners with all these random supplies, all these crocheting hooks and whatnot, they've created something that's very brilliant. And that's a complete starter kit that actually works. That people can start today, not know anything about crocheting, and build something for themselves with this simple beginner-friendly kit. And the numbers, they obviously prove it. They've sold over 11,000 of these things alone. 10,988 penguins sold. So yeah, instead of them just selling these random yarn hook supplies to people that are just trying to start out, no, they've created pre-starter pieces that essentially set you up for success when you're just starting out. Clear step-by-step video tutorials that they have within each of the packages once you purchase, and then access to, of course, their community support line, which, this is kind of like their advertising and their marketing is more of like, this is a de-stressing activity for the average 9 to 5 or after work. Now, if we look at their most popular price point, it's not going to be these $200 premium kits. No, it's literally the $30 units, which bring over $500,000 in revenue. And you may ask, why is this $30-ish product bringing in so much money? Now, it's because they've understood something fundamental about this market. And that's that the biggest obstacle for these beginners is not the price. It's the fear of failing at something that is new, that's entirely foreign to them. Now, here's where it really gets strategic. And this is something that people completely miss. So I want you to pull up the Facebook ad library with me. Now, if we look at all these competitors and analyze what exactly they're doing, they're all pretty much making the exact same mistake here. Now, everyone is showing the polished, perfect finish product in pretty much all of these, right? And do you know what that does? It ends up scaring beginners away. But what the Woobles is doing, like, look at this. Who the hell is going to do this? Like, come on now. What the Woobles are doing, they're focused entirely on that very first win, that moment when someone goes from I can't do this to I actually made something that is amazing and I did myself. And with 68% of the reviews being 4.5 stars and higher, you can see why this strategy is working so well for them. Now, here's why this is so powerful. You can use this exact same psychology that we just went through in literally any niche. It does not matter. Watch this. So we can go ahead and take, let's just say fitness, for example. Now we're going to take fitness, for example, and instead of just typing in fitness on Instagram like everyone else does, add the magic word for. So we're going to do fitness and then for. Okay. And then what do we see? We see fitness for women. We see fitness for beginners. We see fitness for men, forever, busy professionals. Do you see what I just did? Just like the Woobles and how they identified their specific beginner crocheter pain point, we're finding these super specific customer problems that no one is solving properly. So this is where we can come in, and we can just look at how the Woobles executed this absolutely perfectly. They didn't just throw up random crochet products, right? Every single one of their 246 products are strategically positioned for beginners. Now, they've built their entire brand around solving that one specific problem extremely well. And when you nail this type of positioning, here's what happens. People start asking questions because they feel very comfortable enough to do so. They share their progress because they're actively and actually succeeding. And most importantly, they become part of something bigger, a community of people just like them. So this is why they're able to maintain these solid margins, selling $30 products consistently, but selling thousands and thousands of them. So it's not about having the cheapest price. It's about solving specific problems for specific people. And the real secret, it's not about finding random products. It's about finding these passion-driven communities where people are already spending money, just not getting exactly what they need. So just like the Woobles saw that gap in the specific crochet market, every single niche has these same opportunities just waiting to be discovered. You just need to go out and find them. Okay, now that we've found our opportunity, let me show you how to build a brand that actually stands out through proper branding. And this is what separates real brands from random dropshipping stores in 2025. And what I want you to start with is pulling up ChatGPT with me. Now, instead of just picking random names, I want you to try this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in, I'm creating a brand that helps beginners learn crocheting through starter kits and community support. Generate me 10 unique brand names that feel welcoming and creative, perfect for beginners. So you can just do the same thing. Just make sure that it corresponds with whatever you plan to sell. So enter, let's see what it gives us. All right, these look pretty decent. Hook and Bloom, Yarn Haven, Crochet Circle, Stitch Starters, The Crochet Nest, Yarnful Journeys. All these are pretty good. I personally like number 2 the most, I would say. Number 2 and number 5, I would probably shorten it. So what I would do to see if this one is available, I would go to GoDaddy.com, and we need to see if the .com domain is available. And if it's not, then we just got to continue searching. So .co is available, not the .com. So you definitely want to check and make sure that the brand name is in fact available. Another website that you could use that's somewhat similar, ChatGPT, I think, is my favorite, but you could also do Namelix. So this website right here, it's really simple. Just go like randomness, medium, next, and then generate, and then it's going to start generating. Brand names is mainly for brainstorming. So we have crochet, knick-knack. So yeah, you kind of get the idea, but I would use Namelix. I would also use ChatGPT and just try and brainstorm, but you have to make sure that .com domain is in fact available on GoDaddy. If it's not, then you're just going to have to deal with .co, which yeah, I wouldn't get .co anyway. So try and find a domain name that does in fact have .com. If it does, just make sure it's not like $50,000, because if it's a premium domain, then it's going to charge you a ridiculous amount of money, which is definitely not worth it, especially if you're just starting out. And a quick little reminder, a ton of beginners make this big mistake of trying to be way too literal with their brand names. So for example, calling a crochet store something like Best Crochet Kits or crochet supplies .co, something like that. Here's why this is an absolute no-go. So 1, it boxes you in completely. 2, it sounds generic and very drop shippy. And 3, it makes it way harder to build a real brand. Now, if we look at the Woobles again, they didn't call themselves beginner crochet kits, right? Or something very obvious like that. They created a very unique, memorable brand name that their audience actually can connect with. So the key is really just finding a name that captures the feeling you want your brand to give people, not just what you're selling, if that makes any sense. Now for brand colors, okay, and this is really crucial. We already know the Woobles is absolutely crushing it in this space. So what's great is that we can use them as a basis. So what we'll do is we'll analyze what they're doing right now and how we can stand out while still maintaining that beginner friendly type of vibe, right? So if we look at the Woobles color scheme, it's
almost like a pastel like. It's very inviting. Like I just look at this and it just looks really nice in the eyes. Yes, we have like a pink pastel, we have turquoise pastel, purple pastel. I just think it looks really nice. I like it. So do you see how they're very playful? It's very inviting. It's very approachable type of colors. So here's where we can do something that's a little bit different. So this is the color that I would probably go with, which is like this soft mint green as the primary. It's still a bit friendly, similar to the Woobles, but it, in my opinion, I think it feels a little bit more premium. And then we go with FFFFFF, which is like just clean white. And that would be, you know, for the backgrounds, just to make sure that everything is readable on mobile. And then I would also do this warm peach right here for the accents. I think that would work pretty well, just so it like somewhat still feels a bit crafty. And this is kind of like all top of mind. Like this is not what I need to see everything on screen, but like these are probably colors that I would go with just starting out right now. I like this feel because we're still hitting that same beginner friendly vibe that the Woobles has, but it also slightly is a bit more elevated, somewhat nuanced. So when someone's comparing the brands, let's just say like my brand versus the Woobles, they might feel like these two colors are a bit premium. It's honestly like not that deep. It's just like my thought process. But I think it looks pretty fresh and you can play around with it and see what you personally like. I don't have a subscription to this, so I can't add colors. I'm just like toggling between screens. But do you kind of see how these colors are working together? Now, this is the exact psychology that makes people trust your brand enough to actually buy. Okay, so brand identity is now locked in and visualized. Now, let me show you how to build this store in literally minutes using AI. Now, most beginners, they don't even know about stuff like this. So you're going to be having a big head start using these types of tools. So it'll be the first link. It'll be build your store. We're just going to go ahead and build my free store like this. Just put in your name. So then you're just going to put in your own credentials, your best email, hit next, and then it's going to start building the store. Now, depending on what niche that you plan to sell in, obviously you want to choose that niche. For the sake of this example, I'm just going to go with, let's just do fashion and apparel. You go done. And then here we're just going to be able to select some background images. These are honestly just going to be placeholders, so we can just choose whatever. It doesn't really matter. The main thing is you just want to get the back end all set up. We can change these all later. So I'm going to go ahead and access Shopify right now. And then I'm going to use that same email that I had entered into the builder. Start free trial. You can see that it's literally $1 a month for 3 months. And then we're also going to create a password. Same password. Just make it easier for yourself. Welcome to Shopify. Okay, I'll save that. I don't need any help here. We'll just skip all that. All right, so we'll go back to the builder. We just did that, so we'll go done. And then we're going to go ahead and copy and paste this URL on Shopify, back to the builder, copy, paste, save, done. It's good to go. And then we need to access Shopify again. And we literally just need to pay the $1. So I'm just going to connect my PayPal. It's a lot easier. All right, simply subscribe. So it's going to be free for the first 3 days, and then it's going to be $1 a month for the next 3 months. So we're going to go back to the builder. We're just going to say done, just like that. And then we're just going to install the app just like this. All right, and then customize store, and now it's going to start building our store using AI. And then now I'm just going to set up the fulfillment with AutoDS. It'll just be easier to do it earlier on. So just sign up for an account, and then you can choose any of these. It's just kind of contingent. The packages are just really contingent on how many products that you plan to import. I'm just going to go with the recommended, most popular, and it's going to be 99 cents as well. So just going to link PayPal up, and then I'm just going to connect my Shopify store real quick, the one that the AI just built me. So I'm just going to install the app, install, and then we go done. Just like that. And then we're going to access Shopify to publish our store. And then we do need to remove our password. We need to add an address really quick. All right, just removing the password. Back to the builder. Done. Almost there. Access my store. It is now live. So this is what the store looks like. Just know that there's going to be products in here. Just see them as placeholders. It's just in here. The main thing is that we have all these policies set up in place. The back end is all pretty much all good to go. We have, products here. We have, obviously products that we don't want to be selling, but they're just solid placeholders. We can go back into Shopify and just like remove them all or place them all as inactive, and literally delete all the products. But the main thing is that if we just go into settings and we go to the policy pages, all that stuff, it's pretty much all set up and then linked to our store. So that is really nice. And now let's just say that I wanted to add another product. All right, cool. So now that we have the fulfillment linked up to our store, let's just say anytime that I want to add a product, let's just say like it's this crochet kit right here. All right, so I just take this link, and then from here I go to add products, add single product, and literally just copy and paste. And I can edit it now, and from here I can choose what I want to import into the store. So we're just gonna import this as is. So literally just like take this, save and import, and then within a matter of time it's gonna go on to my Shopify store. All right, so it looks like it has in fact been imported. So just gonna go on to my Shopify store, gonna go to products, and then let's go ahead and refresh it really quick. Here it is. So we have the Kids Beginner Crochet Kit, and then everything that we chose to add onto here did get added, but we can change everything. I can change the description, I can change the title, the images, but as I mentioned, SKU is going to be linked up, change pricing. Anytime we get an order, it's going to now populate onto the AutoDS dashboard under orders, and we just have to buy the credits, and then we can basically fulfill the orders. You can also set up an automation feature, which it does it for you. But the main thing is that the SKUs are linked. So that's that if you want to add any product onto your website. Now, if you want to edit the AI store abilities, just go to online store. So if we just want to go ahead and customize the store, literally just go here, and then we can toggle between views. Of course, 99% of your viewers are going to be coming from their phone. So you want to be editing and optimizing for mobile. Now, keep in mind, you can change all of this, like add your own images, add your own placeholders. You can change the color schemes. And I highly recommend you do so because you don't want to be using what's here. Main thing is that we have something solid to work off of, and we don't have to go through all the heavy lifting of setting up all those policies and all that jargon that just isn't fun. All right, now this next part is probably the most criticized aspect of dropshipping, and honestly for good reason, and that is the shipping times. Because let's be real, in 2025, you absolutely cannot be waiting 30 days plus for products to arrive, right? It's just not realistic. Now that might have worked back in 2020, but with Amazon, doing their same day, 2-day, 1-day delivery, customers basically expect their orders fast, and that's pretty much a given at this point. So we are now on to your product and your supplier strategy. Now, when you're starting out, your best bet at fast shipping times, and this is before you have proven that a product has worked, before you gain proof of concept, your best bet is going to either be AutoDS, partnered suppliers, or anything that you can find under 10 to 14 days. Now, I mentioned that we had the fulfillment pretty much on hand. So if you go to like any of these products, you're going to see like these shipping times listed here. So if you can get them anywhere under 10 to 14 days, you're pretty much solid. So this is a good starting point. Now, once you are in fact getting consistent sales, you're making money, here's exactly how to obtain a more reliable fulfillment setup. And this is going to be with 4PX or through UniExpress. So the easiest way to get started in finding a good sourcing agent, you can either honestly go onto AliExpress, Alibaba, and then you have 1688. Now keep in mind 1688 is going to be in Chinese, so you want to do currency conversion. You also want to do language conversion unless you can read Chinese. 1688 is basically like the AliExpress for dropshipping agents. Now we are looking for dropshipping agents. So here's what we're looking for on these platforms. So we're looking for agents with direct 4PX or UniExpress partnerships, obviously speaking English, and then we want to look for fast response times. And so the idea here is that we want to be messaging these agents. So generally on Alibaba, you're going to find the manufacturers, and then AliExpress, you're going to find the agent. So if we just go down and then we find the seller's name, we'll be able to contact them right here. So you'll be able to contact them, message them. You just need to create an account, and then you'll be able to contact them. And then same goes with this. Let's just say like I'm interested in this guy right here. I'll go ahead and send him a little message. Now within our message, we want to be asking for the current order volume. We want to be asking for the product details, and then the target shipping times, or what shipping times that we are shooting for that are going to be realistic. And you don't really have to worry about the technical side of things, because part of their job as the agent is to help you set up your 4PX or your UniExpress account and basically do all that back end for you. That is why you are hiring them. It's more rather for the convenience. So this is exactly what I did when I was first starting to scale my stores. I immediately got an agent. So for the shipping times, we can take a brief look at these shipping times just so you can get a better idea of what they're looking at. Like regular AliExpress is going to be anywhere from 15 to 30 days. AutoDS US warehouses, you're going to get pretty solid around 5 to 7 days, but the products on here are limited. You're not going to be able to do that with all the products, so do keep that in mind. And then with 4PX or UniExpress, you're going to get anywhere from 3 to 5 days. Now mind you, this is when you are buying in bigger quantities, so that's one thing you have to take note of. It's going to be a bigger of an investment. And then of course, your dedicated 3PL, something like a ShipBob, you're going to get 1 to 3 day shipping, which is of course ideal. But you guys kind of see the progression as your store grows. Your shipping times should get faster and faster. This is exactly how you build a real sustainable brand instead of just another dropshipping store that ends up failing and falling behind and then eventually dying off. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, once you have proven a product works for you, there are 2 major upgrades that you absolutely need to make. So we just covered faster shipping times, but here's what's really going to level up your brand, and this is custom packaging. Now, this is exactly what lets you as the brand charge these premium prices. Now, if we look at these brands real quick, give me a second. I got a list of things that I pay a decent amount of money for, and I buy them specifically for the packaging. So one, right here, Sasquatch. These guys, Dr. Squatch. These guys have the sickest packaging. Look at this soap. It's so cool. Look at the ingredients, super clean ingredients. Look at this stuff. This beef towel that I bought. I don't even know how much that cost. It just looked cool. I was like, damn, this is a cool jar. 100% grass fed. Of course, the notorious dude wipes. Look at the packaging, guys. This is hilarious. Dingle bells. But sick packaging, right? Let's see what else we have. Look at this collagen packaging. This is sick. Super ergonomic. Pastel colors, feels nice. These are also pastel colors, and this is playing into the nature's type of theme that they're going for. It almost looks like wood. Safe catch, ahi tuna, pretty cool packaging. And then we have, of course, this pastel like organic lip balm stuff that I bought. And then grass-fed collagen. All this stuff that I buy, honestly, because the packaging just is so nice and it makes it feel premium, And it allows this company to charge this kind of pricing because like I'm happy to pay for this. This looks cool. Like I almost want to keep this. Like this is so cool. I want to keep this jar. It's just crazy how much packaging influences buying decisions. If we just look at me, I just buy all this stuff because I think it looks cool. So the perceived value, it goes through the absolute roof just from that professional presentation and the packaging. So let me show you probably the most cost-effective way that you guys can get this done. And I want you to pull up Fiverr with me. This is how I did it when I was first starting. So we're looking for 3D packaging designers. So this is exactly what we're looking for. Now you're looking for top rated listings or talent here. So we can see all these random packaging designs, right? So we can look at the amount of reviews. Ideally, you want to look at the reviews, like how many reviews and what is the star rating. Now with Fiverr, reviews, ratings, it's basically the entire integrity of this actual listing. So it generally means a lot. Now with Fiverr, they're really good. If you're not satisfied, then most of the time you can get a refund. Now the main thing is just looking at all these listings and seeing what type of packaging resonates most with your style, with your taste, right? If you want to go for more of like that pastel, like I'd say this one looks pretty cool. Like this is one I kind of like. These kind of look generic, like not trying to sell like some random supplement stuff. I want a premium brand look. This kind of looks like, does this Dr. Squatch kind of not look like this one right here? Yeah, so this is kind of what you're looking for. You're looking for the rating. You want to look at the portfolio as well, right? So if we just go into any of these listings, let's just say we'll go into this guy right here. Go here, you can take a look at his reviews, you can look at the portfolio and then get an idea of how much he charges per package. So here's what he can do. Product packaging, eco-friendly and colorful, product label, pouch packaging. So ideally you want to message these guys and just confirm if in fact this is what they can do. I would give references and say, hey, I really like this Dr. Squatch. Can we replicate this and can we make something very similar to this? And see if they can do it. See if they have any examples that are similar to this exact design. You can also, check their past work, ask for their portfolio, and then look at the packages. And then from there, you'll have them send you a custom offer. Now, a little tip with Fiverr, you're going to have these preset packages. Most of the time, I negotiate. So if a package is like $300 for a 3D render or like packaging design, I'll be like, hey, like I'd love to get this done for $200. Can we do that? And then they might say like $250. And then, you're trying to essentially negotiate. You're going to get better prices if you have them send you a direct custom offer. Don't just buy here. And here's like a template of the exact message that I would send to a supplier. So I would say something like, I'm creating a premium product crochet brand targeting beginners, looking for a clean professional packaging design that feels very welcoming but elevated. What I need box designs with measurements, insert card designs, 3D mockups for our website. So take a screenshot of what I just put on screen and you can just copy and paste that and send that over to these designers and see what they say. So an overview, tips when you are choosing a designer, check their ratings. You want at minimum 4.5 stars on Fiverr, minimum 4.5. You want to look at their packaging portfolio, make sure that these designs within the portfolio showcase their actual skill. And you want to budget this at around anywhere from, I'd say $50 to $150 for quality work. If you have more money and you're willing to splurge and you're seeing this as an investment and you want to do this for the long run, then more than welcome to go a little bit more than that. And what's dope is that once you get those designs back, what you can do is you can use those 3D mockups right away on your store. So while you're waiting for actual custom packaging to be produced, you can create content, you can create mockups for ads, for static ads, and run those. Now this is instantly going to make your brand feel way more premium, way more professional. Like if this product was just this, smells pretty good, in like a white box, I wouldn't really think much of it. But look at how sick this looks. Simply with the packaging. And that goes with pretty much all the stuff that I showed you guys. All right, so building off of this premium brand image, the next step is getting content that actually converts. And in 2025, there is completely different approach to this that most people completely miss. And I want you to look at the most successful brands that are doing this. They're not using these like massive mega influencers. No, they're working with micro creators, people with smaller but very super engaged audiences who actually understand the niche. So here is how you can find the perfect creator. So what I like to do is I like to use X and search within your niche. In our example, we do crochet UGC, and you want to look for creators who are personable and showcase products very naturally. In this case, it would be like crocheting, maybe a tutorial, something like that. And you want to check their portfolios and see if their content style matches with what you're looking for. And you can overlook their past work as well. And to really make this work, you want to start honestly pretty small. You just find like 2 to 3 creators who are already making content in your space. And as I mentioned, not talking about these mega big influencers who are going to be charging you ridiculous amounts of money. No, just people who genuinely just connect with their audience. So what you can do is you can DM them, send them a product, give them a super simple direction. You can send them something like this. Hey, just show yourself trying our crochet kit for the first time. That's it. Just keep it natural. Just keep it simple. So when you see a creator style really resonate with your audience, that is exactly the point at which you're going to want to double down. So you're going to want to find more creators with that same exact teaching style, that same exact vibe. And instead of just getting random one-off posts from these creators, you want to definitely work with these creators on an actual content series, maybe like weekly tutorials, monthly progress updates, whatever helps your audience succeed. Right? So you want to make them a part of your brand story. And here's what is so powerful about this. So once you find content that does in fact work, you can actually use that same content for when you are running paid ads. So these authentic creator videos usually outperform these professional ad content because it just feels more real. It's more authentic. That's what people are gravitating towards more. They don't want to see like some super salesy ad and get sold, right? So here's the exact message that I use to reach out to creators. So I want you to just like timestamp this, screenshot it, copy paste, whatever you need to do. Hey, their name. I love how you just do a specific thing about their content. We're building a brand that helps beginners learn crochet through starter kits and community support. Would you be interested in creating some beginner friendly content with our products? We're looking for natural, authentic learning journey, your unique teaching style, and real progress updates. So that's something that you can go ahead and use. And, believe it or not, done the same thing. Sent out free products, also paid some creators. Some were like asking for $150, $200. I think one we did for $200, we took that raw content and we just created edits, threw them up on TikTok, threw them up on Instagram. And those videos, it generated 10, 15, 20 million views, generated us hundreds of thousands of dollars from a $200 investment and free product. Right. So definitely worth it. And then one thing that I do want to mention, in order to keep everything super organized, I have created something that is going to save you guys a bunch of time and actually something that I use for my own brands, which is a creator CRM. If you guys don't know what a CRM is, it's basically a customer relationship management. It's like a big diagram where you have all the information and it just stores things, and it's a big brain basically. So essentially going to help you keep track of everything all in one place. So it is going to track who you've reached out to. It's also going to see who's interested. It's going to monitor follow-ups needed. It's going to note down creator details and responses. So I'll leave a link in the description. It's a Notion document that I've created for you guys to just duplicate for your own, use it right away. So it'll be down there for you guys. Now, the thing is, once you start getting multiple creators posting for your brand, you'll actually need something like this to really just stay on top of everything, because trying to manage this through the DMs it's literally an absolute nightmare. All right, your content's ready to go, but here is what kills most dropshipping stores, and honestly, it caused me to lose a lot of money, and that's not having the right systems in place in order to sustain actually growing your brand. Now, setting up these proper systems, or however you want to call them, it's not about making your life easier or sounding all super fancy like a big corporate company. No, it's about preventing the kind of expensive mistakes that will end up killing most dropshipping stores. So I'm going to show you 2 powerful automation setups that I wish I had when I was first scaling. The first automation setup involves fulfillment. Now, when I was starting and my first product starting to do really well, I was getting a lot of orders. Believe it or not, I was actually manually literally going into AliExpress or going to Shopify, taking the customer's information, throwing that into AliExpress, going back into Shopify. Yeah, it was a big headache. Imagine doing that for 30, 40 orders a day. It was like 3-4 hours of just nonsense work. It wasn't until a buddy of mine, Steven, was like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Are you insane? I was like in my college lecture class fulfilling orders. So you can actually automate this. Now, for those of you guys that are starting out, the best thing that you can do, we already mentioned AutoDS. You literally just go to settings and have that automated for you. It should be auto ticked. Let me just see. You just go to Spire settings, you go to orders, and then automatic orders. And anytime you get an order, it'll just auto fulfill for you as long as you input the credits. But yeah, that is pretty much standard, and it's going to be the best that you guys can do for now. But the second way to automate fulfillment is through a dedicated agent. We spoke about finding an agent earlier. Now, once you are in fact doing serious volume, you're consistently making money, you're doing really well, and you can in fact ensure that making this investment into this product or your brand is going to be worth it in the long run. Here's what I do in fact recommend. So earlier we spoke about getting an agent on 1688 on Alibaba or AliExpress. So what you're ideally going to want to do is outreach. So you're going to want to send a message to any of these agents. And so I want you guys to copy and paste this message when you guys are in fact ready to acquire so hi, I'm your name from, and then your company, your brand. So we're looking to do X amount of orders per month, 1,000, 100, however many you plan to do. And we're looking to scale with a reliable agent. Can you provide MOQ requirements, which is minimum order quantity requirements, sample costs, processing time, and custom packaging options. So the reason why you want an agent and what exactly makes them so powerful is that they handle the bulk ordering at a better pricing for you. They also ensure the quality control checks. They are ensuring the supplier relations. And then of course the order fulfillment, as you mentioned, they just basically do everything for you. They can integrate into your store, or you can send them custom CSVs. Ideally, integrating in the store is the best thing you can do, but they're going to be able to assist you with that. I'm not going to go into detail. Now, as your store starts to grow, you'll want to automate your customer service as well. So most people try handling everything themselves, and trust me, I've been there. It's not fun and it's just a waste of time. But let me show you a much smarter way to do that. And this involves hiring VAs, virtual assistants. So whether you use Online Jobs, PH, Fiverr, Upwork, honestly, the platform really doesn't matter. Here's exactly what you are looking for in a support person that is going to help you. So you want customer service experience. You want them to be fluent in English and have an e-commerce background. As I mentioned, you can go on to Fiverr, same thing. Literally just type in VA, virtual assistant. And then from here, the same thing, vet the talent. But a quick tip, you want to start with one person who's working anywhere from 2 to 5 hours per day. And that's honestly all you're going to need at the beginning. And you can find, believe it or not, really quality support for anywhere from $4 to $6 an hour, because you are outsourcing generally like Philippines, Pakistan, South America, India. Just ensure that the English level is in fact really good. And what this is going to do, it's going to allow you to focus on the bigger tasks, the more conceptual tasks that actually grow your business, while your VA handles the day-to-day customer support, things that they specialize in, what they do for a living. All right, guys, so we are progressing through. I still have my voice. Keep up the good work. But now let's cover something most dropshippers completely overlook until it is too late, and that is protecting your revenue, your hard-earned money as you scale. Something happened to me with my very first store that completely changed how I go about scaling, how I think about scaling. Quick story. So we were doing really well revenue-wise. I was increasing ad spend on Facebook. It was working really well. We were able to do so, but then chargebacks started hitting us pretty hard, and PayPal actually ended up holding over $10,000 from me for over like 6 months. Not fun. I had to switch my payment processor. I was like, screw PayPal. They don't want to give me my money. I'm going to go to Stripe. Same thing happened with Stripe. So for starters, chargebacks happen when a customer goes to their bank to dispute a charge instead of coming to you for a refund, right? So they skip that step. And this can happen either for legitimate reasons, but honestly, most of the time it's not even legitimate reasons, just people trying to get free stuff. And when this happens too much, payment processors like PayPal, like Stripe, they're going to start holding money from you, exactly like what happened to me. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like, doesn't matter how many times you call them, doesn't matter how much you tell them you've spent money, you've paid them, whatever, they don't care. So a tool like this is basically going to make sure that that doesn't happen without you literally having to do anything, which sounds kind of crazy, but it's let me just show you. So I just downloaded the ChargeFlow app, and all you have to do is go into the integrations and just integrate all of your payment processors. If you're using PayPal, if you're using Stripe, your bank accounts, all that good stuff, so that anytime that you get a chargeback, ChargeFlow is literally going to submit all the evidence for you. It's going to have everything that it needs to do so, and the dispute is going to go under review, and then any dispute that is won, they get the certain percentage of it. So it is completely free, and you only pay if they actually win the dispute, which is literally a no-brainer. Like, why would you not have this? So the main thing is that just adding this in here, so anytime, if you do, in fact, hopefully you don't get any disputes, that they'll be able to essentially streamline this process for you, and you won't have to worry about having your VA team or hiring them and training them to basically learn how to submit evidence. Like, these guys, they just know what to do. They've already done this so many times. They know what type of evidence to submit. They know how to speak. They know the language to use. So saves you a lot of time. And if it doesn't work for you for whatever reason and you don't want to use it, then you don't have to use it. It's up to you at the end of the day. All right, guys, I know that that was a lot, but this is exactly how you build a real dropshipping brand in 2025, not just another generic dropshipping store that ends up dying off. So I want you guys to really think about what we went through today. You've got the exact blueprint: finding these communities that are already spending money, building a brand that actually connects with them, and setting up systems that let you scale. You see, in 2025, dropshipping is still massive, but only if you do it the right way. Now, the days of random products and generic stores they're just done. I think more people are realizing that now. So drop a comment if you want me to break down more specific parts of this strategy. You know, I read every single one of the comments, and I do try and help where I can. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.